Hi friends, Miss Cindy here from the Mahopac Public Library. I have a great craft for you guys today. Today's Craft Wednesdays, and this craft will work for both teens and children in elementary school. And teens can bump up their level by doing their own drawing. Elementary school, if you prefer, you could trace. So the craft is making a shrink film necklace. And if you've never used shrink film before, when you get it, it looks like this type of a plastic sheet, very thin and flexible. This type of shrink film you guys will be getting is shiny and smooth on one side, and it's rough and scratchy and kind of frosted on the other side. So that's important to note. You will get, when you come to the library, in the adult garden, these little kits will be available, and they'll be labeled the shrink film, and it's kind of easy to tell that it's the shrink film. Inside you will find two shapes. One will be an oval shape, one will be round. So you'll be able to make two necklaces with these. And you will have also two necklaces and two of these, they're called garment pins. And they look like these little keyhole shaped safety pins. And that will enable you to clip your, once your little drawing is shrunk, you can clip it right onto your necklace. Makes it real easy. So that's what will be in your kit. If you like, again, this is probably more for elementary school, but you can pick, these sheets will be available with ideas for you to trace. So the theme this year is Imagine Your Story. So all of these pictures are imaginary creatures. Except for the seahorse, which is a real creature, but they are sort of looks kind of like they could be an imaginary creature. So if you are going to trace one of these, what you would do is take the shape that fits over it. Most of them will fit right with a circle. Some of them you will need the oval. Here's the oval, and it fits right over there, right on top. And you would hold it nice and still, and then go ahead and trace your picture. So what you will need from home, which we're not supplying, are the Sharpie markers and colored pencils. And you could just use Sharpie markers alone, but it makes everything come out very, very dark, and I highly recommend some colored pencils. Really easy procedure and fun. So the first thing you're going to do, and I have one traced out, you're going to trace the design on the rough side. So put the shiny side down over whichever one you choose. If you choose to draw your own, that's a great idea. Go ahead, be creative. You don't have to stick to the imaginary and mythological creatures. You could do whatever you like. But just make sure your design fits inside the oval or the circle. And also note, these are punched. There's a hole punched at one end. So just make sure where you're tracing the design, that's where you want the top to be, where the hole is, because that's where it's going to hang from. So once again, shiny side down. Use your thin Sharpie marker to trace carefully over the design. I'll show you a couple. This was one, last year's the theme was something about rock and roll. So we had some of these. Here's a guitar that was traced. And then what you would do next is color in with the colored pencils. So here's this flying dragon over here that I've traced. And I've colored in all the dragon, because it's a silhouette, with the black Sharpie marker. But now I want to do the background. If you don't color in the background, you're going to get this not very attractive sort of grayish white background. You want to make your necklace as colorful as you can. So I've used a little bit yellow in the center, a little bit of orange around that, and I'm going to finish up with my red pencil. And what's also great about the colored pencils is that you can blend them. So you can blend together a little orange, a little red, a little yellow to get nice effects. Also, I recommend you use the side of the pencil to make it easier to kind of fill in large spaces like this. And you don't have to make it real dark. What happens when these shrink is the colors will intensify and darken up. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. So there, it's all colored in, and I have my little toaster oven all heated up. And you may want to use a piece of foil or a piece of parchment paper. We're going to try to include parchment paper with your kit. Today I'm using a little bit of foil. And you place that right on your foil and on your pan. And we're going to go ahead and get this into this little toaster oven, and it takes between 1 and 3 minutes, set at about 325 degrees. So if you're in elementary school, you need to get a parent's help with this. So make sure you get someone to turn your oven on for you. It's 325 degrees. That will be included in your packet, a little bit of instruction so you know. Make sure you have something that you can use to take the pan out when it gets hot, because it will be hot. And it's kind of fun to watch it also, so if you have a light on your oven, please make sure you're watching it to see because when it shrinks, it kind of curls up and wriggles around and bends, and then eventually settles down and flattens back out again. And when it flattens back out, it's much, much smaller. So it will be, as I said, the size of this. So it shrinks, I believe, something like 45%. Comes a lot smaller. Or maybe it's even more than 45%. I have to check my statistics. But here it's wriggling up there. I don't know if you can see. And I'm going to pull it out. And you'll be able to see how it looks when it's shrunk. So meanwhile, these you may want to choose the necklace and the little garment pin for the colors that go with your necklace, and you can look through the packets that are there and see which colors you may want to take home. If there's library staff, they'll be able to help you if you want to choose certain colors. Certain times of the day, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, there will not be library staff. You can just feel free to pick out the one that you want. And these will be available in the adult garden as long as supplies last. So today's Wednesday, come tomorrow, you come today even, they'll be available all day today, Thursday, Friday. Come as soon as you can if you're interested in making a fun shrink film necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and now you get to see. There you go. So our little dragon has shrunk, and you can see how the colors started out. It's a little bit warm. I'm going to flip it over. The colors started out very pastel, and now they've really intensified. Here you go. You can see it. They've really intensified as the items shrank. So just be mindful of that. And one last thing, if you are drawing your own and you decide to add some text to it, because we're drawing on the rough side, we're drawing on the side that's been sanded and is rough, but when you wear it, you're going to want to wear the shiny side out. It looks much better to have the shiny side out. So if you're writing any words or numbers or text, you want to reverse it, because you're going to turn it around. If you write it the regular way, when you turn it around, it's going to be backwards. So what I suggest you do for that is write out the word and then flip your paper over and trace the word upside down, so that when you flip it back over after it's shrunk, it will be the right way. So if you have any questions, feel free to call the library. I'm Miss Cindy. You can reach me at the main number, 628-2009, extension 153, or feel free to, I'll be at the garden certain hours. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and feel free to watch this video over and over again if you forget any of the steps that you need to do. So have a great time, be creative, and just always remember that reading helps to grow your brain. So remember to spend some time with books every day. So till next time, bye.